Good morning students. Today let us see viruses and worms in ethical hacking subject. What is a virus? Virus can be defined as a weakness of the system. Right? It makes a system more vulnerable to the attacker. Viruses are made to threaten the target system. Technically, virus is a kind of malicious program which is used to harm the target system. When virus is executed into the target system, it replicates itself in many copies and infects the target system. A virus may corrupt the whole system and make it unaccessible. Generally, a computer virus first gets executed into the system and then starts infecting the target system. Once it replicates and successfully infects the target system, it starts performing the attacks on the target system. Ultimate aim of a computer virus is to corrupt the system. A virus may corrupt the whole system and make it unaccessible. Worms. Now we all know that whether it is a virus or a worm, it is a program, right? So worms are malicious programs like viruses and have almost the same functionality, but worms differ from the viruses. A worm does not require any kind of human involvement, whereas a virus needs some form of human involvement. This is a special property of worm. Worms can be considered as a special type of viruses. Worms have the ability to replicate itself in the system, but they are not able to attach themselves to the target program. Worms can be spread over the infected network without any human involvement, whereas a virus is not able to do so, right? So hence there are few things which a virus can't do but a worm can, but ultimately the worm is a special kind of virus, right? So ultimately worm is a special kind of virus. So as I said, worms have the ability to replicate itself in the system, but they are not able to attach themselves to the target system. Next, let us see the life cycle of a virus. So, as you all know, right, the life cycle of a virus has the first phase as development. In the development, what will happen is for the development of self-control virus whose behavior can be changed as per the requirement, one should have sufficient knowledge of the programming languages. There are also some virus construction kits which can create a virus with prefixed features. Thousands variety of virus can be created using virus construction kits. The second phase is the deployment and replication. So as you all know, it can be deployed and can replicate itself, right? Then execution and attack is the third phase. After the replication, the virus spreads in the target system and completely infects the target system without any prior knowledge to the target. Attacker virus performs specified attacks such as corrupting the data, freezing the system or system file, failure. This is the main phase where the work of the virus is done and the system and the information may get vanished. The last phase is your detection and removal. When the target notices about the unwanted activities and unresponsiveness, immediately what we will do, we are supposed to identify the root cause. By using antiviruses or anti-theft, target starts hunting for the root cause and tries to get rid of it. General purpose viruses are easily detected by the antiviruses and can be removed easily, but there are some encryption algorithms like JUMP or Shikata encryptions which encrypt the virus and hence makes it undetectable. So these are the four life cycle of a virus. Now classification of virus based on their functionality, it is classified into infection, target and method of infection, right? So what is the target, right? So it is the information or the data virus, boot or the BIOS virus, and then appending virus. Under information, these type of virus target the data or information present in the system and make it unusable by corrupting it. Now, boot means BIOS virus means these types of virus target the boot sector or BIOS of the system. They corrupt the boot records resulting into the system failure or enable the BIOS lock or interfere with BIOS. Network-based virus, these viruses are easily transmitted over emails or gain access into the system using open network protocol. This leads to the infection of the port and protocol communication. The last type is your appending virus. These viruses have tendency to get merged with executable files by appending their source code with the original file. Generally, free software or freeware things contain this type of virus. It automatically gets executed to the system when the file is opened. That is the infected file. Now let us go to the next classification, that is method of infection. So we have encrypted virus, cavity injector virus, bootloader virus, auto mode virus, mutating virus, and extension virus. Let us see one by one. Encrypted virus. Using some special encryption algorithm, viruses are encrypted and thus it become undetectable by antiviruses. Right now, cavity injector virus. These viruses do not change the original file size while infecting any file. That is, they maintain the original file size and hence user don't get any idea of infection. Bootloader virus. These are the viruses designed to destroy the data of the hardware when booted by the means of USB or CD. This type of virus infects the bootable image files. When the image is booted, it gets executed and destroyed the complete data in the hard disk. Automod virus. These kinds of virus have special tendency to automatically modify its signature. Generally, an antivirus looks for the virus signature in a file while scanning. This kind of virus modifies its signature for every next infected file and hence the detection rate becomes lower. Next one, mutating virus. In the mutating virus, the infection part on each file is different. To enable mutation, the virus needs to contain mutating engine. By the help of mutation, each and every time it left a different injection part with the target file and there is no change in the original source of the virus. The last one is our extension virus. This virus changes the file extension. Generally, the file extension is turned off. The file appears with the name only, right? So we will not have dot text, right? But we will be having some other extension that abc.text.bat. Now when attacker sends his file to the target, due to the extension showing is off, target will normally see abc, will not be able to see the extension. When the target opens a file, now virus will get detected. That is your extension virus. Now let us see in general the difference between worms and virus, right? So the definition: a worm is a form of malware that replicates itself and can spread to different computers via network. A virus is a malicious executable code attached to another executable file which can be harmless or can modify or delete it. Objective: the main objective of worms is to eat the system resources. It consumes system resources such as memory and bandwidth and make the system slow in speed to such an extent that it stops responding. The main objective of virus is to modify the information. Host: it doesn't worms, it doesn't have a need a host to replicate from one computer to another, whereas virus, it requires a host. Okay, then harmful: it is less, worms are less harmful but viruses are more harmful. Worms can be detected and removed by the antivirus and firewall. Antivirus software is used for protecting against viruses. Now, worms can be controlled by remote. Viruses cannot be controlled by remote. Worms are executed via weaknesses in the system, that is, vulnerabilities. Viruses are executed via executable files. Worms generally comes from the downloaded files or through a network connection. Viruses generally comes from the shared or downloaded files. So, how to identify that it's a worm or a virus, right? The symptoms are hampering computer performance by slowing it down. Automatic opening and running of the program, sending of emails without your knowledge, affected the performance of the web browser, error messages concerning to system and operating system. Right now, here in virus, pop-up windows linking to malicious website, hampering computer performance by slowing down. After booting, starting off unknown programs, passwords get changed without your knowledge. So, how to do prevention? So, keep your OS and system in updated state. Avoid clicking on links from untrusted or unknown websites. Avoid opening emails from unknown sources. Use antivirus software and a firewall. In the case of virus, installation of antivirus software is must. Never open email attachment. Avoid usage of pirated software. Keep your operating system updated. Keep your browser updated as old versions are vulnerable to linking to malicious websites. Vulnerable means they'll identify the weakness and they'll try to penetrate the system. Let us see the different types. So you have internet worms, instant messaging worms, email worms, file sharing worms, internet relay chat worms. Okay, in the case of virus, you have boot sector virus, direct action virus, polymorphic virus, macro virus, override virus, file infector viruses. Depending on the task, what they perform, we name the worms and virus. Now, example of worms include Morris worm, storm worm. Example of virus include creeper, blaster, and slammer. Interface: it does not need human action to replicate, whereas virus needs human action to replicate. Okay, its spreading speed is faster. So, whereas in virus, its spreading speed is lower as compared to worms. Thank you, students.